Hello everybody, welcome back to some more Planet Coaster. Remember to leave a like if you're enjoying the series and want to continue to see more in the future. Just gave you guys a quick overview of Futureland since we did finish it up last episode. I went through and added some more lighting and some more finishing touches throughout there. Nothing too major. And you may notice I added a tunnel coming from our western world away from there and into this back area. And what I wanted to build today is something I actually did mention in the last episode, which is basically something inspired by the Jungle Cruise ride in Disneyland. I don't know if there's one Disney World, but I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's really cool. Basically, just a very slow moving ride throughout a dense jungle, basically over water. So what I'm going to try and do this episode is I tried to make a coaster using these sort of slow push tires, just kind of push it along its way, and then we take the water, which is our roofs, our blue roofs, and we just kind of put it underneath. So basically what I'm doing is going around and raising the land around the track just to make it seem like the track is actually a little lower and on top of the water, so you're basically the coaster cart will be like a little boat just kind of going through the water. It came out okay. I really want actual water in this game. That would be great. Please give me water in this game so I can stop using just these blue roofs. So we made a big old block of them, so I'll just take that, copy paste it all the way around. It looks okay, so, except for when the sun's pretty low or at an angle, because then it just kind of reflects off of them and it looks kind of weird. But for now, the roof will work. So we just raise the land around it to kind of make it a little water area, and I wanted a larger lake area in front for the kind of the paths to go over, just so it would be something nice to look at. So we will have a little bit of decoration and stuff in the front. I'm actually really happy with how this came out. It doesn't look super hot right now, but once you get all the trees and stuff laid down, it looks freaking sweet. Oh man, those trees. I lay down so very many trees. I am so sick of laying down trees in this game because it is so slow. You have to place everything one at a time. If only there was like a tree brush or something. Oh, it would be so nice. But there I'm just laying those walls down so we can actually make sure our entrance and exit are on the grid, so we don't mess that up or anything. And for the entrance or for the coaster bay and stuff, I wanted, in my mind, I had just like this jungle shack kind of in my head. I don't know if that's the best way to describe it, but basically just a large shack just kind of hanging over it. And the way we build this, it doesn't look that good to start, but as we get more into it, it actually came out really cool. So have faith, it's gonna turn out pretty well. It just looks really ugly starting it. So we have these little pieces like this. I wish we just had a roof tile or something in this texture, this sort of hay, but we don't. So basically what I'm basically taking this and just cloning it multiple times to kind of make a sloped roof made out of hay. It looks kind of weird because it looks like what I'm basically doing is taking a bunch of buildings, stacking them on top of each other, and hoping that it actually looks good. So the main issue here was the repeatability, so the fact that it looks the same so much, there's not really any variance in the design. So how I solved this was I just went and took, where is it? Nope, just trying multiple things, finally deciding on, it's always the worst part of the time lapse, is the part where I'm just randomly looking for objects, just kind of making it up as I go, but ended up just going with this guy. And then we're just going to fill it in. I wanted some of the bars to come out, like I could have just made it flat, but I did like the look of some of the structural supports. So we just got a whole bunch of them, just kind of filled it in there, decided it looked alright, and then started to work on the other side, just lining it up. That's one of my favorite things in this game to do, is just repurposing objects. Finding things that haven't been used in a specific way, or things that aren't meant to be used in a specific way, and making them look and be used in a building in a different manner. Like those little shacks, they're just meant to be just a little shack. You just place them one by one, and you don't actually like connect them or anything, but if you connect them like this, you can kind of get a whole roof going. And I did skip ahead a little bit. I guess I forgot to record a part. I realized the clip changed, but we added a roof and finished the other sides, and then we have a little bit of a corner, and so it looks pretty nice. I'm actually really happy with how that came out. With the whole aesthetic of the ride, especially when we start to get all the foliage in, it looks pretty fantastic. Just covering up the front there, adding some rocks, just trying to cover up the tracks, or not the tracks, the supports of the actual coaster bay. We eventually add more to that. And then over here I started on a little bit of like an ancient temple or some ruins. So I'm just building just a random little building here. I leave some parts out of it on purpose, just kind of make it look like it's broken in or tumbling, or not tumbling, that's the wrong word, broken down and kind of decayed and decrepit, because maybe it's supposed to be like an ancient ruin. And yep, that's pretty much it for this one. It looks really good. Again, a lot of these things don't look super hot until I actually get the plants planted, because I mean that helps just so much. Unfortunately, there really aren't any jungle plants in the game right now. The trees, like we have, none of them look very jungly. So hopefully that'll be something they'll add soon. Just a little bit more variation in the actual trees, because we have a lot of bushes and stuff, but the trees never actually look like jungle trees, which is something I would like. I mean, we had the palm trees, so something I try to use frequently was just the palm trees, and then these sort of short palm trees, and then we had the banana plants, which actually look very kind of jungly and rainforesty. But they just don't fill up enough space. So we ended up using all these different ones. I'm not really sure what these are. They're oaks or sycamores or something, but once you start getting them filled out, looks a lot better. My main goal, or method for this, not goal, method is what I meant. You'll see it later, like I eventually just learned as it went, but I need to start with the very small bushes, really low down, and just kind of build them up as they go. So you start with just the grass and the rocks, and then you do the bushes, and then you do the medium-sized bushes, then the big trees, things like that. And over here, I wanted to add a sort of a waterfall. Since we do have the water spouts, I think it would be pretty cool to have this kind of waterfall over there. Then I'm just trying to form up the land a little bit. There we go, just get that up nice and high. And then we're just gonna kind of make a cliff face out of rocks. And it kind of looks okay. I wanna add some more. This is the only waterfall I added, but I kind of want to go back and do a little bit more. Then we just bring that over, fill it up there so it doesn't look like just a piece of tile. I mean, it's kind of silly looking. And then I did a mix of the water sprays and the steam. Because water sprays look good, but they're a little bit, a little thin. So the steam kind of helps it fill out a little bit more. So there we have the steam. And then we'll add in the waters. Just kind of fill it in there. And it actually looks really cool when you actually drive past this in your little car. Actually, you can see right there, they get sprayed down a little bit. I forgot I had initialized a test. The thing is really slow. Frankly, it's like, it might be too slow. I do a point of view ride through at the end of the video, but that point of view ride is sped up just because it takes so very long. So we'll see. We'll see what you guys think. I don't really have any control over the speed right now. It would either be this speed or no speed. It would just wouldn't be able to move, or I could use the boost tracks and it would be just very, very fast. So I decided too slow was better than too fast. Look at that. It's already filling it nicely. Just having all these trees and everything. Looks beautiful. It's a little bit boring to watch. I do cut some parts out, so I went and stopped recording and filled out some more trees and stuff. So hopefully we'll get to that at some point. And then here I wanted a cave to actually completely enclose it. So you're just using the pull tool in the terrain, I can just basically pull the ground over the entire top of this part. There you go. It's pretty intuitive. It's kind of difficult to control at some points. Just from because all you can do is like push and pull, and you can't really like raise the part. I don't know. It's hard to describe. I don't know. I imagine it's a tough thing to do, is try and find an actual mechanism that'll work well for this, but I have faith in the development team to actually build this. Then just adding some random prop pieces, have a little camp with a campfire and then a skeleton, add a little skull to the front of that, spooky scary skeletons, then add a little British flag. Part of the theming for this was something like a British expedition back in the colonial times, gone into the jungles. So we do add a bit of a British base. We finally get to use those animatronic British guys. We'll discuss that part once it gets to it. I always jump ahead, especially in these boring parts. Basically, I'm just going through the tunnel and again using the terrain tools, using push instead of pull this time to kind of make it a little bit bigger on the inside. And then we cut ahead here. We're added some more bushes and stuff. Just it looks like little pimples just all over it. Just starting with the bottom layer of the foliage and working our way up from there. Just adding some bushes all around. And then you just fill in the trees. It makes it feel a lot more realistic and, I don't know, just a lot more dense to have those bushes. Because if it's just trees everywhere, like the bottom of the trees wouldn't really look like anything. And I know some people are worried about my performance loss in the game by adding all these sort of decorations and stuff. Like, people were worried up until this point. Honestly, I was a little worried too. Like, adding all this crap might lag the game a little bit. When we fast forward in normal gameplay, it does drop my frames a little bit. I dropped down to the lowest quality. In fact, I should have brought it back up when I did the point of view record anything. That's something I forgot to do, and I apologize. We are at the lowest visual quality right now, and the game still looks fantastic, even at its low quality. Like, it's a very beautiful looking game, so it doesn't look too bad. But there we go, we pretty much finished that part over there, and I kind of wanted to work on the entrance here. And so we're just shaping this a little bit, just so I can have paths come around to it. Pushing the ground back a little bit there, because I just want it to be flat. I don't want the path to go up and around too much. That's something I'd like to do on the next park, is be a bit more planned out with our pathing. We planned the beginning of the park pretty well, but after that it kind of just became more organic and shaped pretty wildly. So I wasn't too happy with it, but I like how these cues came out. It's they kind of wrap around this little pond we have here. And so once we get it up and like decorated, it looks pretty nice. And then just doing a little, I don't know, earth entrance or some sort of stone arch all the way around it. Looks pretty good. Making that connect there. Bringing it around. Just starting to add some rocks in there to make it look a bit like a cliff face. I gotta keep drinking the water. These long voiceovers are a little bit tough. I know some people haven't been liking them. I actually got some comments saying like, "Oh, you sound weird and awkward during these." I'm like, well, it is a lot different than my normal recordings, just because I'm literally talking the entire length of the video. I don't cut anything out. Just because it's the whole time lapse. I don't want to not. And then when I stop talking, some people say, "Oh, you stopped. I don't like when you stop talking." I was like, well, oh well. So I don't want to cut anything out because I want you guys to see most of the build process, or at least the stuff that I recorded. Because some things I do just stop recording. But anyway, back to the video. Finished adding trees all the way around it, and then we're adding some just these hanging things. I guess they're vines or something, or moss, whatever the heck they are. And then just adding some more foliage on the outside. I'm really proud of this entrance. Eventually, we do actually build a housing around that right entrance, because I don't really like the right entrance, the default one. It's not great looking. And then we're cutting again here. We're working on our main British camp. So I like to think they came and made camp at like some sort of abandoned inhabited village. So we're adding these little British soldiers, animatronics, and these little walking ones. They look pretty cool. So they're just on patrol right in front of the river. And I found this big black skull. I was like, okay, we'll go put that over there. But they're pretty cool. Adding some tiki torches. I like how the tram's going by right now. Look at this. So this is like 10 times speed. And look how slow that tram is going. It actually came to a stop there because I went over there and was, wait a second. What is going on here? I was like, oh, I did not add the proper parts to this. So those were just regular tracks. They weren't actually the tire tracks. Interesting, but whatever. Just adding some more set pieces. And then I thought, okay, maybe these British guys, maybe they're stranded here. Maybe their ship crashed or something. I don't know how it crashes as a river. Maybe it was some sort of like Bermuda Triangle situation where their ship got teleported here and now they're stranded, or I don't know. Just playing around. I found those explosive barrels, which are pretty fun. So we decided to add a couple there. Found some of these tiki. These aren't tiki torches. These are just like, I don't know, bag lamps or something like that. But they look pretty neat. They go well with the whole theme. Trying to avoid to make this pirate themed. I know we are using a lot of the pirate themed objects, but I don't want to make the whole thing pirate themed. I want some more themed stuff. I know the devs are actively working on a fairy tale theme, which I'm afraid is going to look too similar to the pirate stuff, but it should be good. If you follow them on Twitter or any of the dev blogs, they have been posting quite a bit of stuff, and it looks freaking sweet. I'm so excited. I want some more stuff to play with now that I'm getting into the very nitty-gritty, detailed, design-orientated stuff in this game. Like, any sort of additional things to play with will just increase the lifespan of this game, and with my interest, pretty much just exponentially. Anytime they add anything. Like this Alpha 2 has really sparked my interest. I was into the game at first. I did like 10 episodes, but wasn't into it too much. But once I started getting into this really detailed stuff, like I've said, I've just been enjoying the game so much. I just constantly want to keep building stuff. Like the things take forever to build. Like to build this whole thing for this, what, 22, 23 minute video, I think it's going to be. This is probably 3 or 4 hours worth of building, including the stuff I've shown and the stuff I've cut out, and then just coming up with the ideas and testing stuff out. Because I did test stuff out before I actually started this build, because I wanted to make sure I could actually place the track that low and build the floor underneath it. Just a lot of time, but it's still a lot of fun. Then I just made myself a nice little lamp with some little rings on the side, so I just copy and pasted those all over. And just decided we needed a little bit of a wooden railing on here. And now what I've realized I should have done is I can actually change. I'm pretty sure you can change the color of the coaster station. I should have done that because you can use like the path elements to change the color of it. So we'll probably go back, change it to a different color because I'm not really happy with that blue. Doesn't look super hot. I'm just adding some wood around that, just kind of make it look a little nicer. And from the inside, this doesn't look super great. I'll admit that. I should probably add some of that wood paneling to the inside just so you're not seeing that. But honestly, the most important thing is the outside because that's what we're going to see. And I think it looks pretty nice. I wanted to add some yellow lights in here. I knew that I wanted a color and decided yellow would look good. So we're just placing all those in there. Just got to fill up the river there because I realized some of the panels are missing. Then we flip them over, put them on the ceiling so they're kind of pointing down the track. Then go the opposite way, put them there. So it kind of lights that up. Decided, okay, that's looking pretty sweet. Just kind of taking a look around. Kind of jarring to see it in the sped up version, but it's not too bad. That jazzy jazz. I'm not entirely sure what I was looking at so much. I think I was just trying to make sure it looked nice. But today, or for this part, I realized, I actually think this was the next day I started working on this part. That's why I said that. I don't like these coaster housings that are on every single ride. Or not coaster housings, just this yellow and gray stand that's on every queue. That's what I meant. Not every ride, every queue. So I decided we're going to try and cover it completely. And again, when I started building this, I'm like, oh, this is going to look dumb. This is going to work. But it ends up looking so awesome. Like, I love how this looks. I just want roof pieces made out of this texture and this material. It would make it so much easier than having to use this whole freaking shack. But we pretty much do what we did with the main shack over the coaster bay. Just use these to build the roofs, and then we take these little pieces, just kind of fill it out. It looks so cool. I love how this one looks. I had so much fun building this. That's so nice. You'll see once we get the whole thing built. You'll be like, all right, C-Top, you know what you're doing, man. We got faith in you. Though honestly, sometimes like I'm not even sure if things are gonna work because out of the things I did test while building this was not one of them. Building with these sort of shack pieces, I did not actually test that out. And I said, okay, I want to completely cover these yellow pieces. They end up sticking out a little bit, but honestly, it's not too bad. You get the idea. And it looks cool how it's just not how it's not symmetrical. It is asymmetrical, because that's one thing people, like other YouTubers and stuff, are playing this game and they're just laying stuff out on grids and they're just plopping rides down with queues. They're not playing the game to its full potential, which is this modular system, which allows you to edit and build so much. Like, you can do anything you want, even with the limited scope of the game right now. Like, we have a future land, we have a western world, we have just a modern looking ride, we have a surfer beach looking area, we have this, which is like a jungle cruise ride area. It's just, look at that. Look how awesome that came out. It's beautiful. Adding some lamps to it. I'm so happy with how that came out. It looks like just a freestanding shack. I love it. And then over here I decided, okay, I want to add kind of a fence around this area, which I ended up removing a lot. So this is a cool little trick. You take a building piece, and then you grab some of these pieces. Because normally these pieces you can't build together unless it's on a building. And then you take it, and then realize, okay, it's a little too low, we got to raise these up. And then you can just duplicate it and copy paste it everywhere. So you can build your own fences. You just lower it below the ground, and then just there you go. And then I built the fence kind of all the way around to the side. We actually ended up undoing that. It's because it would take forever and it wouldn't look very good to enclose this whole thing in a fence. Once we fill in this area with other rides and buildings and stuff, I think it'll look a lot better. I'm not sure what to do with this area. Like, do I want to make the whole area kind of jungle themed? Or not? Or just like make it a different theme? Because I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Because there aren't really any other rides that lend themselves to a jungle theme. Like, we could mess around with it. I'll go into the game and play around, but definitely know if you guys have any thoughts about that. Because I could just continue with this sort of shack building. And at least do a couple other buildings around this. Just so the jungle ride is just not by itself. Because I don't think that would look very good. But then just filled in the area with some more trees and bushes. Made a little campfire. Or a campsite with a campfire. Filled that and then realized, okay, I don't want this to go all the way around. Let's delete this real quick. And again, the delete like option isn't working on the bottom right. It's not working yet. So every time you want to delete something, you have to select it, then hit delete, then select the next one, then hit delete, and yada yada yada. It's kind of annoying, but oh well. Well, hopefully we'll get the delete key soon. And then just finishing this up, bringing the fence around. I love the look of that fence. It's so cool. It looks so much better. than just, I don't know, any of the fences that the game has. In fact, I might replace the fence we used around the coaster bay with this one, just because it looks quite a bit cooler. Actually, that wouldn't work because we couldn't sink it into the ground. Anyway, oh well. Looking alright. Let's see, and I think that's going to be it. Yep. So we're going to jump right into the first person point of view. I sped this up a little bit. Did I? I think I did, just because they were walking very slow. So I sped it up a little bit. Look how cool that shack looks. Ah, I love it so much. Look at that, and the detail on those woods, and the reflections from the warm lights. Not to mention that sunset, so it looks pretty cool. Oh, I love this area. Imagine if that was actual water. Oh, and that sunset reflection over it. Very cool. I want to add something on top of that shack to kind of break up the pattern, because that pattern repeats itself a little bit too much. Not a big fan of that, but I'm sure with a little bit more detail it would look good. And then this is going to be in the daytime, because I actually recorded it beforehand. Oh, but it's okay. And I sped it up a little bit, just because it was very, very slow. It's not quite at 10 times speed, but it's pretty close. Maybe like 4 times speed. So just taking a look at the ruins there, and then we have the little waterfall. It looks like a nose just kind of squirting water out of its nose at us. Grody. Just kind of curving our way through. Oh, I wish we had actual water. Oh man. Skull Mountain, Skull Cave. They didn't do anything in here. I didn't really have any ideas for what I wanted to do in here. Maybe add some like fire elements or something, kind of make it look like lava. Oh, that might be cool. Who knows? And then there are some bare parts. I don't like just that bare grass everywhere. Look at those exploding barrels. They look pretty cool. Boom! Ah, scared the camera. That over there, that is incredibly bare. That whole area. I went and added a lot more trees after recording this. And then we have the campsite there. That little cannon looks pretty cool. Oh, it shot me in the face. Little soldier dude's walking around. Alright. Well, that's going to be it for this episode of Planet Coaster, guys. Remember to leave a like if you did enjoy and want to continue to see more in the future. Let me know if you have any ideas for anything for Planet Coaster. I'll see you next time. And bye.